Did you ever pay the manufacturer's suggested retail price for a car? Of course not. Cars and other consumer goods are heavily discounted by retailers, especially on the internet. But that may all change because the Supreme Court has overturned a 1911 ban prohibiting manufacturers from setting a minimum price. Critics say it's inflationary and it's a threat to the internet merchants, and it will cost you money. Supporters say it will promote competition. Joining me now, Quentin Reigel, Vice President for Litigation at the National Association of Manufacturers, and Peter Barile, the lead attorney for the Consumer Federation. In this case, both parties filed friend of the court briefs. Gentlemen, welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Peter, let me start with you. You think this will raise prices dramatically, and it's not a good decision. Why?
It'll raise prices without question. Indeed, Justice Breyer, in his very strong dissent, which he announced in the court yesterday, estimated that this is going to cost the American consumer, the average family of four, from $750 to $1,000 a year. $300 billion worth of products will be affected by this ruling. And it's not just limited to luxury items for which the proposed theoretical justifications for removing the ban are applicable. It applies for everything, from groceries to gasoline to every single product imaginable can be subject to RPM and will be.
Okay. Quentin, you say that this basically is not going to be that big a change. You know, Peter had some pretty compelling arguments there.
Well, there's no doubt that it will raise prices in a few situations. We're talking about resale price maintenance policies. But manufacturers are under tremendous competitive pressure to sell their products to compete with other manufacturers. So they're not going to raise prices unless there's some competitive benefit to them and to consumers in doing so. And all this case is about is allowing manufacturers to say what those benefits are in court.
Peter, what about the likes of a Walmart, you know, one of the biggest discounters in the entire world? I mean, they drive prices lower when they deal with manufacturers. You don't think that that will continue? That the competition will eventually and the market will eventually keep prices low?
I'm glad you bring Walmart up, Sue. About 25 years ago, this was a particularly hot topic and was brought to the court by the Reagan administration, Justice Department. At that time, S. Robson Walton was interviewed by the Antitrust Journal of Law and Economics, and he said the reinstitution of RPM would be a great danger to Walmart's then nascent business. Well, the court didn't take up the invitation to overrule the ban then, and since then we've seen Walmart grow from a regional player exponentially to a entity that influences the market. And also, not unimportantly, we've seen the rise of the internet. With retail price fixing in place, it's a fair question to ask whether internet commerce and companies like Amazon.com would have developed as they have.
Peter makes some interesting points. Quentin, you make the point that you think that prices will rise only in certain areas. Which areas do you think have pricing power given this latest development?
Well, first taking Walmart, I think most of the products that they sell are fairly generic products that everybody knows all about. The products that we're talking about in this area are products that require a fair amount of education on the part of the retailer to the consumer about how it works, particularly things like video editing equipment, which has to integrate with different camera formats and different computer formats. So it's high-tech products and other products like that.
Thank you, gentlemen. I have to leave it there. Quentin, Peter, a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Some final thoughts on Wall Street's week. It's been quite a newsy week. We have a lot to talk about when we come back.